All right, today we're going to be learning about symbols. Again, we're going to review symbols. We're going to be making our own family crest, and we're going to use symbolism to do it. So, you're going to have a chance to look up some things and make your own crest. But there are 4 different areas. You'll notice that this crest is divided into 4 pieces. And Cam, I don't even think the camera's like on all the way. So there are 4 different areas that you're going to write about. So in this little banner at the bottom, that's going to be your last name. Okay. So I would put bad. One of them is going to be your beliefs. So it might be a religious symbol or something that is like what you most care about. So kindness, respect, honor, your faith, something about your beliefs, like who you are on the inside, right? Background is another area you can pick. Cultural background, maybe like your place of birth, or school mascot, something that represents your heritage, where you're from. Okay, so we're Blue Jays. We're from Festus.
What about where your family originated?
If your family originated from a different area, you could put something that represents that. Hobbies and interests is going to be another little section. So you might put a baseball. You might put, I don't know, some sort of like gymnastics or dance things. A what?
A computer.
A computer, a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, any talents, hobbies. I might put music notes, something like that. Could you put more than one thing? Could I put like a baseball and music notes in there? Could I put a picture of a cat and music notes in there? Yeah, you could put more than one thing. And then personality is going to be your other square. So something that describes your personality. If you're always very shy, maybe you find something like, I don't know, some sort of symbol to represent shy. Or if you're a very loud talker, you're very outgoing, maybe you put something that represents that. And think about like the background colors you use, because that might make a difference too. So for example, let's see, I might put, let me pin myself. This shall be fun. And then you guys are going to get a chance. I'll just come over here. I don't have to really change things around.
And I can see.
All right, so before I do this, I also want to look up color meanings. So I'm going to come over here.
Like red, purple, blue.
Red means mad.
Red, yeah, I mean, you can kind of think of like, on the movie Inside Out, green, jealousy, 12
Green
color
is
meanings.
disgusting.
Okay, so here are some different things. I can, here, let me project this because this is good.
Action and energy.
Wait, red's like action, strength, and a bunch of other stuff like that.
Okay, so here is a really great.
I don't like that. I can barely.
Can you move your butt if you need to and come up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds weird. It's bad.
I want this ad to go away. I didn't want to go look at the ad. I wanted it to go away. American Family, we don't care. Go away. You're rude.
I actually have that on my PC. Whenever I'm playing, just an ad pops up in the middle of my.
Okay, so let's see here.
Loyalty, action, and
There's a lot of meanings to words.
There are a lot of meanings for these words. So I'm trying to think which color I want to use for my name.
I think
purple.
I think blue.
Purple.
Confident, loyal, trusting.
Yeah, blue would be
power.
Power. I don't feel powerful, but
Power.
I'm a dictator. Dictator Bab in here.
We can't see them.
Oh, I forgot to. Okay, I'll come back
She's
and I'll.
only got BAB
Goodness.
so far.
Okay, BAB. It's gonna look backwards to you guys. Okay.
Actually, it doesn't. It's just for us.
Okay. Bab, and I could put some little designs in here if I wanted to. And
Dun, dun, dun.
color. You guys can do a much better job coloring.
We got
Now, let's see, for my, and I'll put this on the board too so you remember which is which. I was born in the state of Illinois. An attempt to draw the state of Illinois.
Wait, what?
I don't know. That is supposed to be the state of Illinois. I'll put that on there even though. Okay.
Pie.
Also, it looks like a piece of pie,
It
Caden
looks
said.
like a nail to me.
Great. Anyway, I put a little IL on there for Illinois. And
Pie sign.
let's see, background. Also, I will put a little, oh, I thought Illinois is really big. Look at my terrible bird drawing of a blue jay.
It's better than me.
That's good.
All right, I've got a little blue jay there. Ta-da. Okay. I might use pink to color in the background of this one. I don't remember what pink meant, but something that I like, I'm sure. Okay. Maybe over here, my interests.
It looks kind of orange.
I'm definitely going to put. This is totally Landon Bab. And then I would have to get my purple back out.
Who's that?
That's Landon. He's clearly naked. Don't worry about it.
What about Lily?
Well, I got to draw her purple wheelchair. She has a purple wheelchair.
I thought it was black.
Purple. I mean, it's got like black wheels, but. All right, we'll make. Okay, are these my world's best drawing?
Yeah.
No, but does it get the point across? Okay. All right. I might put, because what one meant love, red.
Yeah.
So I made my kids red, and I'll make the background red.
No, there's more than one.
Actually, red means love. in that
Yeah,
thing.
love. Love. Let's
It's
see.
gonna be fun because I like food. Yeah, I like
Red
food.
also means nothing, but action.
Okay. All right. I don't remember which color meant.
Harmony.
Harmony.
Positivity is yellow.
I know. I want some yellow on here for sure.
Yeah, maybe we can do a top yellow.
Like we can outline the cross with yellow.
I'll just make the background of this one yellow for positivity. Okay. Don't forget that part goes in here. All right, and my other area was personality.
I think personality would be like blue or something. Or maybe
Purple.
we got purple. Over here.
Yellow.
Purple. Royalty. I'm royalty.
Yeah.
I thank you.
You're welcome.
It also has royalty.
Green.
Where's science? Where is royalty?
Put science. All right, I like it.
It also has art too. Sam, you should do pink. It has science. Put science. Put science like a green flag in a purple music note. Hey,
Okay.
It's not exactly even, but
I can't see what you're saying.
Yeah, you should put a green or put a black.
Nobody can see what you're doing with that.
Bingo.
Can I please have Trey, Elise, Brielle, Kyson, and Kylie Hastings to the office?
Miss Fab, nobody can see what you're doing.
all right.
You're not on your.
I drew that. Okay. So I I didn't put a background on that one. What kind of background do I want? I don't have my colors in front of me.
Green and purple.
I haven't had orange yet. And I did like some of the
Orange means like baby.
orange mint babies. I don't remember seeing that.
And a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, so there's my crest. So you guys are gonna have an opportunity to do that as well. Cam, I can upload this. It's gonna be hard to draw on if you would rather. Stop. So Cam and Lucas, if you guys would rather just draw a crest on paper, that might be easier for you guys, as opposed to trying to draw pictures like this on the seesaw. That's going to be very difficult. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to work on this probably after we finish the story. Because if you guys work on this, some of you will work on this the whole time because you are artists and you will work on this the whole time. And then we won't finish our story.
Let's do the butt first.
So
I think we should do the thing first.
you want to do this first?
Yeah.
What if we don't finish the book today?
I want to finish the book. That's too bad.
That's too bad, he says.
It will be okay.
It'll be okay.
What?
Can we fill it out as we read? So then.
No, because I want you paying attention. It's the final chapter.
I know that would be boring. No, we're still figuring out the A is when I'm super. It's when it's
All right.
happy ending. Okay, please.
All right. Thank you, friends that are ready to go. And now I was cold. Now I'm hot. Silly jammy day. Okay. I don't need to present the colors anymore, I don't guess. All right. We're going to finish. And then you guys will have time to work on your family crest as well as the final questions and vocab. And you will be wanting to study tonight because you will have a big written final test tomorrow. And I made you save all these reading papers for a reason, which was study.
Study.
I bet you have. I appreciate it. All right, chapter 17. Let's find out. So, Uncle Henrik told Anne-Marie that Ellen and her family were safely on the boat in a hidden compartment and that they made it over to Sweden and there were people waiting to get them off the boat. And then they all had a good laugh about how when Anne-Marie returned, she had to milk the cow, had no idea what she was doing. Mama got her foot in a cast. Sounds like everything's getting back to normal.
Except for Ellen's gone.
But Ellen's gone.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 17. All this long time. The war would end. Uncle Henrik had said that, and it was true. The war ended almost 2 long years later. Anne-Marie was 12 now. Church bells rang all over Copenhagen early that May evening. The Danish flag was raised everywhere. People stood in the streets and wept as they sang the national anthem of Denmark. Why were they crying in the street?
They were happy.
Tears of joy.
There's no solution.
Maggie,
They were happy that they were free and the Nazis weren't around anymore, and like they didn't have to get bossed around.
right.
Or-
Absolutely. They were so happy to just be
again.
free. What?
They had all their stuff again. They had cupcakes. They actually had that kind of
Right.
stuff.
They could just be normal again. Have cupcakes.
They have lights.
Open their stores. Like, go back to normal. Did Jewish people have to be in hiding anymore? Zeke, put it away.
That's what Curtis is gonna do.
Okay. Anne-Marie stood on the balcony of the apartment with her parents and sister and watched. Up and down the street and across on the other side, she could see flags and banners in almost every window. She knew that many of those apartments were empty. For nearly 2 years now, neighbors had tended the plants and dusted the furniture and polished the candlesticks for the Jews who had fled. Her mother had done so for the Rosens. So while the Rosens were gone, Mama had been taking care of the place. It is what friends do, Mama had said. Now neighbors had entered each unoccupied waiting apartment, opened a window, and hung a symbol of freedom there. This evening, Mrs. Johansson's face was wet with tears. Kirsty, waving a small flag, sang. Her blue eyes were bright. Even Kirsty was growing up. No longer was she a light-hearted chatterbox of a child. Now she was taller, more serious, and very thin. She looked like the pictures of Lise at 7 in the old album. Peter Nelson was dead. It was a painful fact to recall on this day when there was so much joy in Denmark. But Anne-Marie forced herself to think of her red-headed almost brother and how devastating the day was when they received the news that Peter had been captured and executed by the Germans in the public square at Rivingen in Copenhagen. He had written a letter for them from prison the night before he was shot. It had simply said that he loved them, that he was not afraid, and that he was proud to have done what he could for his country and for the sake of all the free people. He had asked in the letter to be buried beside Lise. Oh. But even that was not to be for Peter. The Nazis refused to return the bodies of the young men they shot. They simply buried them there where they were killed and marked the graves only with numbers. Later, Anne-Marie had gone to the place with her parents, and they had laid flowers there on the bleak, numbered ground. That night, Anne-Marie's parents told her the truth about Lisa's death at the beginning of the war. She was part of the resistance too, Papa had explained. Part of the group that fought for our country in whatever ways they could. We didn't know, Mama added. She didn't tell us. Peter told us after she died. Oh, Papa, Anne-Marie cried. Mama, they didn't shoot Lise, did they? The way they did Peter in the public square with people watching? She wanted to know it all, but wasn't certain that she could bear the knowledge. But Papa shook his head. She was with Peter and others in a cellar where they held secret meetings to make plans. Somehow the Nazis found out and they raided the place that evening. They all ran different ways trying to escape. Some of them were shot, Mama told her sadly. Peter was shot in the arm. Do you remember that Peter's arm was bandaged and in a sling at Lisa's funeral? He wore a coat over it so that no one would notice, and a hat to hide his red hair. The Nazis were looking for him. Anne-Marie didn't remember. She hadn't noticed. The whole day had been a big blur of grief. But what about Lise? She said, if she wasn't shot, what happened? From the military car, they saw her running and simply ran her down. Gosh, that's awful.
Wait, so they ran her over?
Yeah.
Oh my.
With a giant, armored car, like a military car. So it wasn't just like a regular, it was a big, heavy, have you guys ever seen, the army tanks and stuff? Not a tank, but, the army jeeps and stuff going down the road.
Oh, like the
Yeah.
Hummers?
Yeah, like the Hummers.
Poor Lise.
Yeah, it's a heavy duty. You're not going to make it if that just runs you straight over.
Yeah, my mom says make sure
unless
you
you're
don't get flattened by the cars in the parking lot. If I ever go into the army, then I better make sure that I don't get flattened by those
Kane
cars.
doesn't want to get flattened by the
He missed
cars.
that, but another thing, what if you're Trevette from Walker, Texas Ranger? He could jump and stand on the hood. That's what he did one time.
So it was true what you said, that she was hit by a car. It was true, Papa told her. They were all so young, Mama said, shaking her head. She blinked, closed her eyes for a moment, and took a long, deep breath. So very, very young, with so much hope. Now, remembering Lise, Anne-Marie looked from the balcony down into the street. She saw that below, amid the music, singing, and the sound of the church bells, people were dancing. It brought back another memory, the memory of Lise, so long ago, wearing the yellow dress, dancing with Peter on the night they announced their engagement. She turned and went to her bedroom where the blue trunk still stood in the corner, and it had all these years. Opening it, Anne-Marie saw that the yellow dress had begun to fade. It was discolored at the edges where it had lain so long in folds. Carefully, she spread open the skirt of the dress and found the place where Ellen's necklace lay hidden in the pocket. The little Star of David still gleamed gold. Papa, she said, returning to the balcony where her father was standing with the others, watching the rejoicing crowd. She opened her hand and showed him the necklace. Can you fix this? I have kept it all this long time. It was Ellen's. Her father took it from her and examined the broken clasp. Yes, he said, I can fix it. When the Rosens come home, you can give it back to Ellen. Until then, Anne-Marie told him, I will wear it myself.
Weird.
She's not Jewish, but she's just wearing it because it's the one thing she has left of Ellen.
There should be a book too to this.
Afterward.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Is there 2 books for this?
Is there another book? No.
There should be though.
There should be a sequel to this book.
The last one where they have like those like way into the future. And like they answered a lot of questions.
All right. This is a little note from the author. How much of Anne-Marie's story is true? I know I will be asked that. Let me try to tell you here where fact ends and fiction begins. Anne-Marie Johansson is a child of my imagination, though she grew there from the stories told to me by my friend Annalise Platt, to whom this book is dedicated, who was herself a child in Copenhagen during the long years of the German occupation. So he based the author, Lois Lowry.
I need the following 3rd grade students. I need Grant, Madeline, Alba, Evie, and Lane to report to the office.
I'm thinking about calling them kids of the office.
I don't know. I guess when they call you, you'll find out.
I'm thinking it might be the kids thing.
I have no idea what it's for.
Yeah, it does.
It's Kids in Character Council. Okay, anyway. All right, so author Lois Lowry knew a person named Annalise Platt, who really was a kid,
Well,
and so she named it Anne-Marie instead of Annalise, and based the character off of her friend,
And that's why there's Lisa in the story, because in
Annalise, and Lise is the sister. I had always been fascinated and moved by Annalise's descriptions, not only of the personal deprivation, which means being deprived of something, deprivation that her family and their neighbors suffered through, and the sacrifices they made, but even more, I was fascinated by the greater picture she drew for me of the courage and integrity of the Danish people under the leadership of the king they loved so much, Christian X. So I created little Anne-Marie and her family, set them down in a Copenhagen apartment on a street where I have walked myself, and imagined their life there against the real events of 1943. In real life, Denmark surrendered to Germany in 1940. It is true. And it was true for the reasons that Papa explained to Anne-Marie. The country was small and undefended with no army of any size. The people would have been destroyed had they tried to defend themselves against the huge German forces. So with great sorrow, King Christian surrendered, and overnight the soldiers moved in. From then on, for 5 years, they occupied the country. Visible on almost every street corner, always armed and spit-shined, they controlled the newspapers, the rail system, the government, schools, and hospital, and the day-to-day existence of all the Danish people. So all of that is true. That really happened in Denmark at that time.
Wow.
But they never controlled King Christian. It is true that he rode alone on his horse from the palace every morning, unguarded, and greeted his people. And though it seems so charming as to be a flight of author's fancy, the story that Papa told Anne-Marie of the soldier who asked the Danish teenager, "Who's that man?" that story is recorded in one of the documents that still remains from that time. So that actually was true, too. It is true, too, that in August 1943, the Danes sank their own entire navy in the harbor as the Germans approached to take over their ships for their own use. My friend Annalise remembers it, and many who were children at the time would have been awakened, as little Kirsty was, by the explosions and fiercely lighted skies the ships burned. On the new year of the Jewish high holidays in 1943, those who gathered to worship at the synagogue, as the fictional Rosens did, were warned by the rabbi that they were to be taken and relocated by Germans. So that's another true fact as well. The rabbi knew because the high German official told the Danish government, which passed the information along to the leaders of the Jewish community. The name of that German was G.F. Duckwitz, and I hope that even today, so many years later, there are flowers on his grave, because he was a man of compassion and courage. And so the Jews, all but a few who didn't believe the warning, fled those first raids. They fled into the arms of the Danes, who took them in, fed them, clothed them, hid them, and helped them along to safety in Sweden. In the weeks following the Jewish New Year, almost the entire Jewish population of Denmark, nearly 7,000 people, were smuggled across the sea to Sweden. Also true. That's really cool that most of them actually just got out safe and went to Sweden. The little hand-hemmed linen handkerchief that Anne Marie carried to her uncle. Surely that was something made up by an author who wanted to create a heroine out of a fictional little girl. Nope. The handkerchief as well is a part of history. After the Nazis began to use police dogs to sniff out hidden passengers on the fishing boats, the Swedish scientists worked swiftly to prevent their detection. They created this powerful powder composed of dried rabbit's blood and cocaine. Oh my.
Cocaine.
The blood attracted the dogs, and when they sniffed at it, the cocaine numbed their noses and destroyed temporarily their sense of smell. Almost every boat captain used such a permeated handkerchief, and many lives were saved by this device.
Did you know Coke used to have cocaine in it for the first 30
Yeah, and
The
illegal
secret
drug actually
operations.
saving lives.
Okay. Secret operations that saved the Jews were orchestrated by the Danish resistance, which, like all resistance movements, were composed mainly of the very young and very brave. Peter Nielsen, though his character is fictional, he represents those courageous and idealistic young people, so many of whom died at the hands of the enemy. In reading of the resistance leaders in Denmark, I came across an account of a young man named Kim Maltbrun, who was eventually captured and executed by the Nazis when he was only 21 years old. I read his story as I had read many others, turning the pages, skimming here and there, this sabotage, the tactic, that capture, the escape. After a while, even courage becomes routine. Then, quite unprepared, I turned the page and faced a photograph of Kim Maltbrun. He wore a turtleneck sweater and his thick, light hair was windblown. His eyes seemed to look out at me, unwavering on the page. Seeing him there so terribly young broke my heart, but seeing the quiet determination in his boyish eyes made me determined too, to tell his story and that of all the Danish people who shared his dreams. So I would like to end with this paragraph written by that young man in the letter to his mother the night before he was put to death. So the character that Peter Nielsen was based on really did write a letter to his parents the night before he died. And I want you all to remember that you must not dream yourselves back to the times before the war, but the dream for you all, young and old, must be to create an ideal of human decency, and not a narrow-minded and prejudiced one. That is the great gift our country hungers for, something every little peasant boy can look forward to, and with pleasure feel he is a part of, something he can work and fight for. Surely that gift, the gift of a world of human decency, is the one that all countries hunger for still. I hope that this is the story of Denmark and its people will remind us that such a world is possible.
I wish there was another book.
Oh, there has to be another book.
Oh, there has to be another book.
What book are we gonna read next?
I'm like 99% positive there is not.
Another book.
What about the other 1%? Is that what about the other percent?
Not creating an account, just answer the question. All right. So now you've got one last page. We are not going to do the AR test today. We're going to do the AR test and the written test both tomorrow. That way you guys can take home all your notes, or even today if you have free time, look through all of these pages and study them, all the vocab words and whatnot. For today, you need to do the vocab and the questions. Turn it back in. When you turn in your vocab and questions, you can grab a blank copy of your crest to work on. Okay? Make sense? Hold on to your books just in case you need them for the author study or the project that we're going to do next week. Okay.
I can.
What? Okay, thank you. All right. Cam, any questions? Do you want me? I'm going to make a little post about the crest that at least has the directions on it. So if you give me a minute, you'll be able to refresh and you'll at least have that. But I think I'll draw a model of it, but I want you guys to draw it on paper. I think that'll be easier. Guys, it's way too loud. Way too loud.
I have from a few worksheets ago, I think it was chapter 15. You put it in the back of the worksheet, so I went back and found that, and I'm doing it right now on that one.
Okay.
And I just had a quick question. What are the 4 things that you need to put in the each different 4 boxes?
Okay.
Wait, didn't we go over
It, yeah, I'm gonna, hang on.
Because we're not gonna.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'm gonna type it up. I don't know why I did that. This will work though. Hang on, Cam. I'm typing it up for you. No, I don't like typing it on that. All right, give me 2 seconds. All right. It's beliefs, background, hobbies, and personality, but I'm going to type it up real quick to Cam and share it. I will.
I need the following 5th grade students to come to the office.
Oh my
I
god.
need Zeke, Olivia Bone, Josie, Ryan, and Riley.
What? They just keep on calling students.
It's because it's for character council. I'll be up for it.
Me too.
What I
Oh, yeah, what I did.
What? We don't have any more meetings anymore.
I still got your hot dog.
That's fine.
He's cooking.
All right.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Read on this. It says an area of land or lacking vegetation and exposed to the elements. What do we write down? Like, do we just write on this or a building or room?
Wait, Miss Battle, do you want us to do the back?
I would say probably this one, not hopeful or encouraging.
Okay. Do you want to do the back?
No, you don't have to do the back on the worksheet, just the vocab and the few questions. I am putting together, oops, that's not what I wanted. Image, computer.
Miss Bat, can I use your colored pencils? Miss Bat, can I use these?
Yes. All right.
I have to say something. Are you gonna share it with us?
What?
Are you gonna share it? Do I just put this in the reading?
Sure. Okay. Hi, what's up, Caleb?
First, whatever your name is. Oh. I didn't finish my test on this one.
You still haven't finished it yet?
No. Because it wasn't working yesterday.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing loading.
Right. Like better with the skinny pencils.
Yeah.
Sloppy.
All right.
Do we do
All right.
Do we just grab this?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay, I didn't know if
Do I just do
All right. Now I've got the color numbers projected and the 4 things you're supposed to put on your crest. Your last name. Yeah, so you would.
Okay, I didn't know if I had to do my other. I didn't know.
You put what you want to put.
I didn't do it.
Miss Bab, can I use your color pencil?
My colored pencils are already gone. Guys, crayons will work fine too. Is what? Intuition, calm, respect, gratitude, softness, creativity, femininity. Do you want me to share this picture with you guys on Seesaw so you can see it at your desk?
I have it. I have it.
And then I have listed the 4 parts on your screen, guys. I also have listed the 4 parts of the crest that you need to include.
Oh, Miss Bab. Oh, can I just look up one on my computer of that?
Yeah.
If Cameron, is there a mic on?
It's fine.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody snapping.
Yeah, but you guys. All right, guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this on Seesaw with you so you can go to your desk because you're not getting anything done standing here staring at the screen. So I'm going to share it on Seesaw so that you guys can look at it at your desks. Go to your desks and get busy drawing. Yes.
You could save it. You could send it to us on Google Docs.
I got it.
I am putting it on Seesaw.
I already have it pulled up on here.
Okay.
Miss Dad, does it matter which one goes in which?
No.
Purple's blue. She's putting it on. And also art.
Oh, yeah.
All right, if you guys hit refresh, it's in your Seesaw now. All right, Cam, then you are good to go. I've got everything set for everybody else as well.